Well, good news on the Mustang is that once we flushed as much rust and oil coated as we could out of it, we put everything back together, took it for a test drive, put about 30 miles on it, and doesn't appear to be anything cracked or leaking. It actually ran very smooth, got it up to normal operating temperature. Um, Everything appears to be okay, so we're going to proceed with the interior. Here's where I had removed the two bucket seats. This is just a shot to show you, how dirty the carpet was before any cleaning started on it. Notice the real heavy dark stains in the carpet. Here's just a shot of the two bucket seats after I removed them from the car. You notice the heavy wear and the rotten leather. Here's another shot from the passenger side of the carpet. Carpet was really easy to get out. Once you take the back seat, the bottom of the back seat out, a couple of trim pieces, a couple of plastic retainers, and it comes right out. It's just a couple of shots of after I started scrubbing and pressure washing. It was a nasty job. Had a chance to scrub the inside of the car out. I'm not aiming to get it spick and span clean, spotless. I'm aiming to make it smell a little better, once we get everything back in. I opted not to purchase new carpet. Sometimes your budget, you just kind of run out of available funds. So I did pop some new rivets in that bracket there. Of course, you see the two places for the screws that hold your console in. It's the new bolt for the the parking brake handle. So anyway, also what I did is I bought a new one of these boots because the other one was tore pretty bad around that shifter. And plus you could see daylight around several parts of it. And I got to thinking, we don't want any exhaust fumes or any kind of odors from the engine, exhaust, or whatever. So I needed to seal that up better. So I did with a new boot. You can buy those new boots, I think they're about $20. Doesn't come with a new plate. You have to reuse your existing plate. And I had to straighten mine up a little bit with the hammer, but got that sealed back up. So got the old carpet scrubbed. I'll show you what it looks like. So I scrubbed the carpet, pressure washed it best I could. The driver's side looks okay. It's a little faded there. Passenger side, it's got a pretty bad faded spot. It goes across there. But I mean, it's clean. As clean as I can get it. The seat covers, I bought some universal seat covers. They didn't fit at all. So I purchased some custom seat covers. They're supposed to match the original. And we'll be getting them on next. Show you what it looks like once I got the carpet back in and the console back in. Of course, it's original carpet, so it went back in pretty easy. The console, on the other hand, the shifter, that's no problem. Your parking brake, you're gonna have to get a creative and imaginative on that. And you can see little bolt right there, little bolt right there, little rivet right there, and there's a little rivet over there. The only problem with taking some of this stuff apart, the old vinyl or leather or whatever it's made out of, and the little plastic retainers that are holding it in, all that stuff, all that plastic's rotten, the material's rotten. And to keep from having to just purchase a whole new interior for the car, you just gotta fix it. So it's clean. It's those big major stains are out. I'll show you the other side. Got some horrible stains in the back. Those came out. So for the most part, except for the faded areas, it looks pretty decent. All right, let's get to work on them seats. I want to show you a before and after picture. This is the passenger seat. It's a factory original leather cover that I've removed from the seat. You see the condition it's in. You know, leather gets hard and cracks and rots. And this is the those wrinkles should go away, you know, after it sits in the car and gets good and hot, and the wrinkles will disappear. But I've recovered the bottom part of the passenger seat. This is the new cover. It's it's not leather. It's vinyl, redneck leather. The quality is very good. They install just like the originals. You have and I'll show you on one. I'll show you on the next one. I just wanted to, you know, for the shock factor of old. This is new. Looks like the original. You got the, you know, the perforated part here, just like the original was. But this is vinyl and not real leather. There's Velcro under here like the original. You have to do the hog rings here and here like on the original. Fits just like the original. Just not the cost of leather. And I'll share with you, you know, where I purchased them from. Tried a universal set of seat covers, you know, the slip-on kind. You know, of course they didn't fit well enough. I couldn't even get the bottom seat portion of them on this bottom seat. My seat was bigger than the universal seat cover, so ended up sending him back. That set of universal seat covers was $100, so I gave it a shot. Didn't work. Vinyl, cut like the OEM, install like the OEM, about $400 just for the 2 bucket seats. I cleaned up the rear seat. Cleaned up the rear seat and reinstalled that. Looks worlds better after putting some leather / vinyl cleaner conditioner on it and scrubbing it with a brush. Lots better. Gonna spray the back of the seats there and get them clean as well. But yeah, that cleaned up real nice. That's gonna be good to go. So yeah, getting the seats out, you know, if you've ever taken car seats out before, it's no mystery there. The driver's seat is electric. You'll want to slide it all the way forward to get the back bolts out. Then you'll want to slide it all the way back to get the front nuts off. Before you remove the seat and unplug that, work the seat so that the seat is in the center, you know, of your frame there, or your frame is in the center of the seat. You know, slide it back and forth till you've centered that frame. Then you can take it out, unplug the electrical harness. The passenger seat is not electric, so you just slide it back. Get the front ones, slide it forward, get the back ones, pull her on out. Now, you're going to have to remove the electrical motor and frame from the driver's seat. The controls for your seat mount here on the front. A couple little screw holes right there. So you want to take 2 screws out, and the electrical connector feeds right through that hole, plugs in over here. So you'll unplug that, take a couple screws out, you'll pull that control out after you remove the motor and frame, which are 4 10 millimeter bolts. So get all that stuff off. And then you will need to disconnect the top portion of the seat. Those are either 13 or 15 millimeter bolts right there. You'll take them 2 out. That's a Torx bit. Not sure what size right now. You'll take that out. Top portion of the seat will be separate from the bottom portion. At that point, there's a trick to getting this headrest off, but you have to get inside the top seat portion underneath the foam. There's a couple little tabs you'll have to pry on to get this headrest off. You have to get the headrest off in order to get these 2 screws out that holds your seatbelt retainer on. So it's all a domino effect. So I got that one sitting here waiting. So we got the bottom portion of the passenger seat done. About to do the upper portion of the passenger seat. So let's do that right now. One more thing I wanted to show you. When you put the vinyl seat covers on, they're not going to have any accommodations for bolts and stuff like the factory OEM did, you know. So you're gonna have to cut your own. Just be careful to make sure you know where you're cutting, where you need to cut before you actually cut. You'll need to cut a little slit. Once you put the cover on, you'll see the top of this little bracket poking out. Well, don't cut right there at the top. Drop down. You can feel this hole through the fabric. Drop down below that hole and cut a slit, because this needs to protrude through there. Then you got your 2 bolt holes in your seat frame. Find them, and I use a little small, I don't even know what these are. They're not like cuticle scissors, but they're just like some kind of grooming scissors or whatever. But they've got a sharp point on them, and they cut very sharp. So cut out a couple of round holes where the bolts go. The factory had some nice big holes cut. I just cut some little small ones right there, but lines up with the hole where the bolts are gonna have to go when I put the 2 halves of the seat back together. Just wanted to mention that to you. Okay, this is the top part of the passenger seat, and it really didn't look that bad, but it is the leather is really hard, and it's starting to crack in some places. So if you sit on it very much, it'll wind up like the bottom part. This one, I've already taken the headrest out and the seatbelt retainer, so I'll show you on the driver's seat how we get all that out. I put the bottom portion back together so I can show you how it does, but this is just a you got a male and a female plastic one slides into the other, and it just kind of holds on to each other, and that's easy to get off. You can either take a screwdriver and just start prying one end, and it'll pop the rest of the way off. And so let me get that. So I was just going to show you. Here's the male part. Fits in the female part. It's kind of, hard and stiff from being 20 years old, but you get your screwdriver under one end and pry one end up, and then it just kind of peels the rest of the way off. Now we're going to peel this seat cover off till we get to about right here. Got some hog rings in here. Velcro here that holds the seat cover to the foam. The Velcro was attached to the foam. And so Velcro here. When you get to this point, there's some hog rings right here we'll have to snip off to get it the rest of the way off. So let's do that. Okay, so I got the seat cover rolled down, and it's not the easiest thing, fit over these fat bolsters right here. But, be mindful that there's Velcro strips right here that are attached to this foam, and you don't want to pull the Velcro off the foam. So just snake your hand in here while you're rolling it down and separate that Velcro. Now up here, you got 3 hog rings. One of them's already pulled loose, but there's a metal bar in the foam right here where my end of my finger is. There's a little metal bar in there. And the seat cover, the original one, has a little metal bar that runs through this loop. So the hog ring connects this bar to this bar to hold your seat cover, close and tight to the seat, to the foam of the seat. So this one's already pulled loose, but we'll cut these two with our diagonal pliers, diagonal cutters. And we'll get the seat cover the rest of the way off. Now, these seat covers did not come with hog ring pliers or hog rings. I got my set off of Amazon. May have been $20, $25. I don't even remember actually. It's a pretty good set of hog ring pliers. You get a bag of hog rings with it. It's extremely simple. It's like a staple. This is spring loaded to close, so it holds your staple in there, and it's pretty simple. But anyway, I got those 3 cut. Let me peel this seat cover the rest of the way off, and we'll start with the new one on there. The place I purchased these from is called Auto Seat Replacement. They're out of Houston, Texas. So they, as far as the complete set for the front 2 seats, the 2 bottoms and the 2 backs, they had the best price. Although it is vinyl, most of the others that I priced were vinyl as well. If you get into real leather, then you're looking at least $400 per seat. So that's like $800 for the 2 bottoms and the 2 backs. And I'm just, definitely the budget is no room for that. Okay, we got that back rolled down. A little tidbit here. Take your seat cover, turn it inside out, start at the top, and roll it over the seat. You can't just take it and pull it over the seat. Don't work. Turn your seat cover inside out, place it at the top of the seat, and then start rolling it down over the seat. It's not that bad. The most challenging part you're going to have is getting this male female retaining holder strip thingy. That's, you need about three more hands to do that, but You stretch this one, stretch that one, hold one side where you need, pull on the other one, and hold your mouth right, and you can get that attached. But it's good and solid. Velcro, like I say, is right here. See how it holds it nice and tight to the seat foam for that definition there. Looks good. On this one, the only thing you have to cut out for, there's a little lever back here. You see it kind of poking out. That's the little lever that you push so that you can lean the top of the seat forward to get into the back seat. And then the only other thing you got to cut out for is up here in the top. You're going to have to cut out for your headrest and your seat belt retainer bracket thingy that goes up here. At this point, you know, if you don't care to have the headrest, just don't cut any holes. The seat belt retainer, you don't really need that. You know, if you want a nice clean look, just leave it like that. So I'm going to be contemplating that, see if that's maybe what we want to do. I'm not sure yet. What do you guys think? Here's the finished product. Passenger seat complete in the car. I opted to, for right now anyway, just going to leave that headrest and that seat belt retainer bracket thingy off. I think the car looks better without it. The seats look cleaner. I think for right now, let's leave that out and see, you know, see how we like that. So far, I'm liking it. So, on to the driver's seat. That's where the electronic control goes. We've got these two to get out, and it is a size, it is a 13 millimeter. Those two, 13 millimeter. Now, the Torx one over here, that's a T47. T47 on one side, two 13 millimeters on the other, and this seat will come apart. If you'll notice, I've already taken the little trim bezel off of this. This is your lumbar. I don't even know if it works. I didn't try it before I took the seat out. I should have, I guess. The lumbar operates with air, and part of all your guts that you take out from here has a little air pump. So there is a, see this air hose right here? So when we take the top part of the seat away from the bottom part of the seat, let's be mindful of this. It's just a push connection. You just push it in a little rubber thing, but let's just be mindful of that so we don't tear anything up. All right, got the bolts out of that side, got my Torx bolt out of that side, and here's that air line for the lumbar. It's two pieces of air hose, two pieces of line, air line, and then this rubber connector. One just pushes in the other one. So, well, I can't do it with one hand. Let me lay you down for just a minute. All right, there we go. Pull this in out. Little connector. Just be mindful of it. Sure you don't tear anything up. Okay, got the cover peeled up. Now the headrest is still attached, so I got the seat cover peeled all the way up. Only thing that's keeping me from just throwing it in the garbage is the headrest is still attached to the seat. So I'm going to show you how to get that headrest off. So on the back of the seat, this clip right here, undo that. This will let you raise the seat foam up. Now, little metal clip right here. We got to pry that up with a screwdriver. Sorry for the shaky camera, but you take your screwdriver, since I'm a one-man show, I can stick it in there and leave it. Just wedge it in there. All right, now I'm gonna come around here. I'm gonna reach in here. Headrest comes out. That clip we pried up hangs onto it right there. So that's got that. All right, headrest off. Finally got that seat belt retaining bracket off. We can do it before and after with this one too, but yeah, it's all right. So once you do all that, you know, get this little strap on the back part of the seat. You got to get it back on there. There you go. Hold the back part of your foam. So I didn't do the headrest on the passenger seat or this seat belt thing. I think I'm gonna leave it off with this one as well, because I think they're gonna look a lot better without it. All right, what now? I don't know what that is sticking out. I think we'll just push it right back in there. Oh, let's see. Let me get the new cover. We'll start rolling it from the top. Put 3 hog rings in. Roll her on down. Let's get started. All right, driver's side top is done. Instructions say all the wrinkles will be gone within a week. You know, if installation was correct. This bottom plastic, you know, I don't know what you call it. It's where the bottom of the front meets the bottom of the back and they connect. I had to call in reinforcements. I couldn't get it myself, and with my helper, my wife, we wasn't sure if we were going to get it, but getting them two hooked together is a challenge. Moving on to the driver's bottom. All right, we got the driver's seat finished. The controls here, you cut a hole in the in your seat cover. Don't cut a hole as big as this. I should have showed you what I did, but basically I just cut a slit here and created a flap that's laying back behind this. 2 screws, attaches it to your frame. It has a pigtail that plugs into the wiring that was hooked into the frame. Then you go and get this, your motor assembly is on the sliding frame. It bolts with 4 number 10s, 10 millimeters, and then it plugs into the harness that's on the seat frame. So this plugs into this, and this plugs into the plug that remained on the seat frame you saw when we was recovering the seat. Now when we set this in the car, this connector right here, there's a plug that's on the floorboard of the car that connects here. That's where the power for all this comes from. So let's go ahead and get this seat bolted in. All right, just wanted to show you the finished product. No headdress. I think it looks pretty good like that myself. There's a few wrinkles still, but once you get in and out of it a few times, let it sit in the sun, get hot a few times, wrinkles should smooth out. Some new floor mats. Overall, it turned out pretty good. What do you say we take it for a drive? Well, that's going to be it for the Mustang Revamp series. Now, we did get the car to where we could drive it safely and comfortably down the road. Keep in mind, the car still needs the engine to be rebuilt, and transmission to be rebuilt, and we don't need a new rear end. Other than that, she's practically brand new. Had a lot of fun working on it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If nothing else, got a little entertainment out of it. Maybe to help you on one of your projects. Looking forward to the next project with you. If you want to see anything in particular, let me know. We'll certainly try to accommodate. Don't forget, we've got a video coming up entitled Prepare for the End. So you won't want to miss that one. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And above all else, be kind to one another. See you next time.